If you hear someone knocking tonight, don't open the door. That's what my mom kept repeating, even before the first soldier stepped on our street. Monday morning started with the sound of helicopters, not the TV kind, real low, rattling the windows so hard the blinds trembled. I was on my third coffee texting my best friend Gavin about a chemistry exam we both planned to fail, when the first military trucks blocked the road by the park. They set up a checkpoint outside the old Sunoco, yelling at people to go home, keep their windows shut, and most of all, do not open the door for anyone, not for neighbors, not for police, not even for family. Rules that didn't make sense, but rules backed by guys with rifles. Everyone obeyed. No one knew why. Rumors flew. My mom said it was another school shooter. Gavin's dad said it was about terrorists, but he always says that. Some kids said a prison bus crashed out by the county line. Others swore it was just a drill. No one believed that for a second. We all wanted to, though. The first weird thing? Our phones stopped working at noon. Not like the Wi-Fi glitched. The towers went dead. The cell network vanished. Some people got one last text from out of town. Are you okay? After that, nothing. Not even emergency alerts. That's when panic started to replace curiosity. Our neighbor Mrs. Henson, who usually yells at kids to stay off her grass, came outside and started knocking on every door, sobbing. No one let her in. Drones began buzzing overhead, way too close. You could see the camera gimbals. Sometimes you could hear them say stuff, "Please remain indoors. This is for your safety." But safety doesn't bleed, and it doesn't make people disappear, and people were disappearing. My friend Lexi's older brother, Sam, went to grab pizza at the corner and never came back. One by one, whole houses went quiet. If you knocked, you got nothing but silence. You could feel the street changing, like it was folding in on itself, and if you blinked, you'd end up somewhere else. We saw a man walking down the center line around 3 a.m. Tuesday. That was after the blackout, after the cops stopped coming, after the first houses boarded up their windows. This guy wasn't scared. He was angry. He was yelling for help, yelling names, crying. We watched him from our living room, me and Mom and Gavin, through the tiniest gap in the curtains. He made it halfway past our house when something grabbed him. Pass quiet, not the army, not the cops. I still don't know what it was. It dragged him away and nobody helped. I thought about running after him. I didn't. I just watched his shoes scrape the curb until he vanished. That's when Mom taped black trash bags over every window. We unplugged the doorbell. Gavin pushed the couch against the front door. "We have to do what they say," Mom whispered, "but we can't just wait for them." We ripped down the smoke detector because it had a camera in it. I didn't even know that was possible. We shut off the power, the Wi-Fi, everything but a battery radio that squawked static and warnings. By Thursday, my little group was me, Mom, Gavin, and Mrs. Henson's dog, who barked at every single sound. We learned to ignore the knocks. The worst part is that sometimes the knocking sounds exactly like someone you know. Once we heard my sister's voice. She's at college in Ohio. I wanted to open the door just for a second. Gavin stopped me. "That's not her. Don't be stupid, man. That's not her." We started to fight back in small ways. Gavin stole a can of black spray paint from the garage and tagged over the front window just in case the drones could see in. Mom covered up every single blinking light in the house, even the TV stand by. Gavin taught me how to swing a baseball bat for real, not for Little League. For smashing kneecaps. We never slept at the same time. Always one awake. Always listening, always waiting for the next set of rules that would make sense but might be the only thing keeping us alive. The first time we heard the screaming, it wasn't even dark yet. It was right after sunset, the street glowing orange, the kind of light that makes everything look fake. I was at the window, staring through a crack, just killing time, when the noise started a block over. At first I thought it was someone fighting. Then I heard glass shatter and something that sounded like a dog growling, but bigger. Way bigger. My skin went cold. Gavin stood up so fast he kicked over the cereal bowl we'd been sharing. We both froze, waiting for someone to say something on the radio. Nothing. That night, nobody in the house slept, not even Mrs. Henson's dog, who kept his nose pressed against the crack in the back door, whining like he could smell the end of the world coming through. Around midnight, we heard it again. Footsteps on the porch, then knocking. At first slow, then frantic. Then it changed. The knocks stopped sounding like hands, more like elbows or maybe even heads. Mom whispered, "Do not answer, no matter what." The battery radio hissed static. Then a new voice broke through, urgent, official. "They come at night. Do not open the door. Do not look outside. If you see someone in your yard, it is not them." The screaming moved closer. Sometimes it stopped so suddenly I'd catch myself holding my breath, just listening for the next sound, terrified of the silence. That's when the nightmares started, for all of us. Every night I'd dream of Gavin pounding on the front door, begging me to let him in. Sometimes he had no eyes. Sometimes he wasn't Gavin at all, but some twisted version, skin pale, mouth stretched way too wide. I'd wake up drenched in sweat, heart pounding so hard I thought I'd die before the sun rose. We tried to keep a routine. Me and Gavin played cards by candlelight. Mom kept making lists, canned food, water, batteries, dog food. We talked about what we'd do if someone broke in. "We go out the back," Gavin said. "Sewer cover by the alley. It's heavy, but I can lift it. We run if we have to." We started hearing other noises too. Scratching from the vents, like something crawling in the ductwork. Sometimes the dog would snarl at the wall for hours. Gavin joked it was just rats, but rats don't whisper your name, and they don't tap out patterns like Morse code. That Friday, the silence was the worst. We heard nothing from outside, not even the drones. Mom said maybe it was over, but she didn't sound like she believed it. That's when Gavin and I tried to sleep in shifts. It was his turn when I woke up to the sound of him crying. He was staring at the front door, tears running down his face. "It's my dad," he whispered. "He's out there. He keeps saying my name." I didn't let him open it, but I heard the voice too. It sounded just like his dad, only not tired and grumpy like usual. Weirdly calm, too calm. After that, Gavin barely talked, just sat by the back door, holding the bat. Mom tried to comfort him, but nothing worked. The next night, the knocking came again, but it wasn't the same. It was softer, slower, almost polite. Whoever, whatever it was, just kept repeating, "Let me in. It's me. Please." We didn't. We waited, sweating, the house smelling like old fear. I checked the peephole once, against every rule, and saw nothing. But I felt watched, like something was memorizing every sound we made, every breath we took. It didn't stop. Every night, something came. Sometimes it was a voice we knew. Sometimes just tapping, scratching, shuffling. Sometimes nothing but silence, which was the scariest of all. We made a plan. If things got worse, we'd run. There was an old storm drain under the alley, Gavin's idea, and we started stockpiling water in cans by the back door. We couldn't stay forever. The last straw came the night we heard someone, or something, trying to break in, not through the front door, but through the basement. Boards popped. Dust fell from the ceiling. Mom grabbed a kitchen knife. Gavin and I grabbed the bat and a crowbar. We all stood on the stairs, staring down into the dark. Then it stopped. Total silence. I don't know how long we stood there. It could have been minutes or hours. When we finally moved, we made our decision. We were done waiting. The monsters didn't care about rules, and we couldn't stay inside forever. We were getting out. You don't just decide to leave. It takes hours of whispering, packing, arguing. In the end, we only take what we can carry. A backpack each, mostly water and cans, the radio, a knife, a bat, a crowbar, and some batteries. Mom kisses the family photos goodbye. Gavin hugs the dog so hard I think the poor thing will pop. The house already feels like a memory, like a stage after the play is over. We slip out just before dawn. Gavin pries up the storm drain, and we slide into darkness. The air stinks. Old water, trash, something else like rotting meat. The tunnels are maze-like, and every step sounds way too loud. We barely speak. The dog whines, echo bouncing back off the curved concrete. Sometimes we hear footsteps above us. Sometimes we hear other things, whispers, crawling. Once, the unmistakable sound of something dragging a body. We move fast. Down there, time stops meaning anything. The only way I know it's getting late is when my stomach starts to knot from hunger and fear. We follow Gavin's map, but the tunnels have changed, or maybe we just never really understood them. Every turn could be the last. At some point, we end up under an old subway station. It's dead quiet, but there's graffiti everywhere. Warnings, prayers, names. In the far corner, a tiny LED lantern flickers. There's a group, other survivors, not many. They look just like us, tired, dirty, wild-eyed. There's a kid about 7 holding a stuffed bear with one ear. There's a woman with a burn scar down one cheek. There's a guy with a homemade spear. No one trusts anyone, but no one wants to be alone either. We trade stories. Everyone's lost someone. No one believes the official story anymore. Someone has a police scanner, and we listen to chaos on the surface. Fires, checkpoints overrun, soldiers screaming. It's bad, but it's also hope. People are fighting back. Somewhere along the way, I start seeing things that don't make sense. In the tunnels, I see flashes of my sister, the one who should be safe in Ohio. She calls my name. She cries for help. Gavin shakes me hard, tells me to stop, but I hear her. Every time we're near a broken grate or a pool of water, I start to wonder if I'm infected, not by a virus, but by whatever this nightmare is that's twisting reality. We stay underground for 2 days. People talk about a plan, hit the main checkpoint at the north end, free whoever's left, take the radio station, get a message out. It's suicide, but it's all we've got. Someone has to do something. We join the group. I don't want to, but Gavin says we owe it to everyone who didn't make it. We surface near a burning Walgreens. The street is chaos. Cars overturned, people screaming, monsters everywhere. Some look human, but there's something wrong with their eyes, like they're seeing a different world. Some don't look human at all. One of the survivors, a kid named Marcus, gets grabbed and disappears. His mom screams and runs into the fire. There's no time to help. We reach the checkpoint. Everything goes wrong. Gavin gets shot in the arm. I think Mom kills someone with the bat. She's screaming. Not words, just rage. We break through, let people out, and somehow I find myself with a mic in my hand at the radio booth. My hands shake. I start shouting, "It's not just zombies. They're changing us. Don't trust what you see. Don't open your doors. Don't listen to the voices. We're alive. We're fighting back." Gunfire, smoke. The signal gets out. Maybe. I never know. Gavin is bleeding hard. Mom is gone, lost in the crowd, or worse. We end up on a rooftop, watching the city burn. There are maybe a dozen of us, some hurt, some broken, all different now. I look at Gavin, and he just nods. The sun rises. The smoke glows orange and gold. The monsters are still out there, but so are we. Someone has to lead. Someone has to make new rules. For a second, I wonder if I'm ready. Then I remember the first rule. Don't open the door. Not for them, not for anyone, not ever again.